what you got from Friday if you watched the video or not. You cannot multiply anything you want. Heck, you can't even add or subtract anything you want. Remember, when we add and subtracted, when you add and subtract, both matrix need to be the same size. That's not the case for multiplication if you were here on Friday. All right? It does not have to be the same size to multiply. But it does have to follow a rule to multiply. Here's the rule. And I believe here part A says do A times B, correct? Okay, so here's the rule. What size is matrix A? Row by column. It's a 2 by 2. What size is matrix B? Also a 2 by 2. And this isn't a great example. The next one is. So both matrices are 2 by 2. You can multiply them if these two inside numbers match. The number of columns on the first one matches the number of rows in the second one. If these two numbers match, you are allowed to multiply them. If they do not match, you cannot multiply them. All right? What's that? Row by column. Yep, row by column. And now that those two match, the two outside numbers tell you what type of matrix you should have at the end. So a 2 by 2 we should have at the end. All right? So how do I multiply it? Because this is a complicated process. So I'm going to have 2 rows, 2 columns. All right? You'd go row times column. Does everyone see right there? I circled row 1 and column 1. That single number is going to go right there in row 1, column 1. Now, how do you get a single number from all of those? All right, this might be the complicated part. You multiply the corresponding number. So 2 times 0. 2 times 0 is 0. And 3 times 5. 15. And you add those. That gets you that single number there. So that's 15. Row 1, column 1. That's the number that goes in row 1, column 1. We are right there. All right, next up, row 1. And you can do this in any order you want, but it's got to go row by column. So row 1, column 2. Row 1, column 2. That's the single number that's going to go there. Do you see it always matches up to the ending matrix? Row 1, column 2. So how do I get that one? Ready? 2 times 1. 2. 3 times 6. 18. Add them. That number here will be 20. All good. And now, you start yelling it out now. Ready? Which row number is this? Row 2, column. Okay, so go row 2, column 1. So that number, whatever I get, is going to go there in row 2, column 1. All right, so row 2, column 1's got to go in row 2, column 1 in your final matrix. 4 times 0. 7 times 5. Add them together. I got a 35 spot there. Only one we didn't do was row 2 times column 2. Go ahead. 4 times 1. 4. 7 times 6. 42. We end up with 44. And there it is. 2 by 2 matrix at the end. 46. God. Sorry. Good story, bro. Other questions? Okay, and again, a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 2, that's not really the best example. Here's where we start getting nuts. Here you go. Stop me at any time here. I got A and B. First one, do A times B. Got to check first, got to check. What is the size of matrix A? How many rows? 1 by how many columns? 3. B is how many rows? A 3 by how many columns? 1. Notice the 2 inside numbers? We got a matcher there. Okay? Now this is strange. Look at the 2 outside numbers. The final matrix is going to be 1 by 1. One single number. One single number. How do you get that single number? All right, here, ready? This is why I'm going over this again. One single number. Row times column. There's only one row times that one column. 1 times 4. 2 times 5. 3 times 6. Add them up. 32. There it is. Row times column. We'll give you just one entry. Row times column, one entry. All right. Mind's blown now. Do BA. Here you go. B. What type of matrix was B? What size? 3 by 1. What about matrix A? 1 by 3. Inside numbers match? All right, so doesn't look like I can do it, but what type of matrix am I going to get out here? I'm going to get a 3 by 3 sucker out of here. Ready? Here's how. Got to start with what matrix? Order matters. B times A. Ready? So go up here. So B. What's the only thing in the first row? 4 times column 1. 4 times 1? Row 1, column 1. 4. Everyone see where we're getting this? Row times column every time. Row times, so ready? 5 times, well, where do you want to go? We'll keep with the 4. 4 times 2. 8. How did I know the 8 went there and not below the 4? How do I know the 8 went there and not below the 4? What did I just multiply? Row 1 times column 2. Row 1, column 2. Boom. That's how I knew the 8 went there and not under the 4. Keep going. 4 times 3. Row 1, column 3. Now we all right here? What's up, Matt? You all right? Just taking a peek.
So it really matters, like which AB is completely different than BA.
Darn right it is.
So whatever property we learned in like 7th grade.
And that doesn't work for matrices. Commutative property. That's the big boy word you were looking for. Yes, commutative property does not work for matrices. Yep. Okay. Questions there? Ask away. What's that first matrix? What size is it? Oh boy. Row, how many rows? How many columns? How many rows? How many columns? I can't multiply them. These have to match. We're done. If I flipped them, sure we could, but can't do it the way it is. Can't multiply them. Everyone see why? Inside numbers don't match. All right. Questions? And then the last one you guys had to do, word problem. It asked you to find AB. Here you go. Size of A. Size of A. Three by 3. What was the size of B? 3 by 2. Can you multiply them? Yep. What size matrix am I going to get out at the end? 3 rows, 2 columns. Okay. I should get 3 rows, 2 columns out at the end. Okay. Row times column. So A, row 1. How do you figure out the number that goes in this spot right here? This is our last example here. Let's see if we picked up anything. 240 times $1.80. Shoot. Plus 300 times $1.90 plus, is that a 160 up there times 2? That's just in the first spot. That's just in the first spot. Right below it. And I'm not going to do all this. It's all on the video. Okay, right below it. Now I do 200 times $1.80. I got 280 times $1.90, and I got 180 times 2. And I go from there. Okay. And then the last thing here, hold on, let me just, what was that final one? By the way, when I say this, I don't care one bit. Like you would think I would be fired up, but I don't care one bit. There was one comment from the sub of all my periods, and it was this one. Period, and I'm quoting, I'm not taking it out of context, I'm just quoting what you wrote. Period 5 was a little chatty. Period. Especially the boys. I was like, all right, great. Could have been a lot worse. And after I add, multiply everything, this is what I ended up with. Here was the 3 by 2 matrix I ended up with. And I am on the test, I am going to ask you to do something like this and then answer a question. And the question was, what's the gas station's profit from Monday through Wednesday? All right, and here's how we figure these out. Look at the 2 matrices. Which one involves profit? Matrix A or matrix B? Which one involves profit? B, ready? And which one's profit? Column 1 or column 2? Column 2. Column 2 is profit. So when you go to the matrix you just designed, column 2 is your profit for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You just match up where it was in the original matrix where you finished it. So here's the profit. And if you want Monday through Wednesday, what am I going to have to do with all 3? Add them up. What if I said the profit on Tuesday? Which number are you picking off? $223.60. If I said the profit for Monday and Wednesday, you would add these 2. Okay, it all corresponds to what was in the original one. All right? Anything you want to ask? Because I'm going to let you go on your own now. So now you have a period and a half to get this done, and anywhere Wednesday, 3 o'clock is when everything's done. Hold on, champ. Guys, do me a favor, because there is a mistake on one of the matrices. Go to page 22. Everyone see matrix B, which says wholesale and retail? Okay, can you cross that one out? Because your numbers aren't going to work out very well. And replace it with this matrix B, page 22, number 7. Yep, everything, yep. Nope, we can't have small numbers like those. All right, so here's your wholesale price. Here's your retail price for matrix B. 26,000, 29,000, 22,000, 25,000, 24,000, 28,500. Okay, here's new matrix B for that last question on page 22. Okay. These you're also going to check on Aspen. It's going to take me way too long to check everyone's again. All right, so check 15, 16, and 17 on Aspen, and check 20, 21, and 22 on Aspen. Okay, let's get it going. I'll be around. Let me get my grade book ready to roll. Okay. Starting on page 15, you check everything on Aspen. Start. Yep, start. Yep. Or whatever you owe me. Or if you owe me anything. It's going to be just a complete work day. Yep. Wednesday test. So you got a period and a half of work right now.